simultaneous flights. Well, 808's bump like a heartbeat strong. Circuit buzzing, this is where you belong. In the digital realm, we can do no wrong. Big Dog 24 got you singing along. Big Dog, Big Dog.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Big Dogs podcast. Today we are going to be doing another interview. Today we are going to be going in between, well, sorry. Today we're going to be going with Callon today. So, shall we get started here with this interview?
Yeah, thank you for
Just like that.
having me. My name is Callon B. I'm an artist in the Nerdcore YouTube online music scene. Uh, yeah, happy to be here. I'm chilling in my room today. We robed up, we cozy.
My name is Aqua. I am a creator as well for YouTube and Twitch. I play video games and react to Nerdcore music. I'm happy to be here.
Love the both of you guys on as well. Diving into, I guess, the NPC and stuff. I do you have your own set, Callon?
No, I've never had a set at NPC. I've just always gone as a homie and yeah, just chilling at the meet and greets and stuff like that. Always
Uh,
invited as like a guest, but no, not to perform yet.
Interesting. If the opportunity does come, would you want your own set at NPC?
Oh, absolutely. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that's a goal for a lot of people in this space is to grow your page to a point to where you meet the requirements to be able to perform there. And I mean, and I'm already cool with and attending it every year anyway, so that's definitely in my future at some point.
So I guess as a artist, when it comes to NPC, even though that you don't have, your own set, um, I guess what does it mean to you as an artist about NPC?
Well, it's a good question, actually. NPC is really powerful because I mean, anyone, if being in this community and building a name for yourself and creating longevity is your goal, that's like the mecca of networking. Everyone that you could possibly want to meet or network with in this community is there, and it's really all in your hands from that point on, like what transpires from it. But I mean, the first time I went to NPC, like I didn't really know a lot of people, and the second year I knew more and was able to be introduced to a lot of people that I wanted to meet. Like rocket music, I guess, for example. And then after that, me and Vinny became pretty close. So, I mean, that's just like one small example of just me going to NPC and rubbing shoulders and then becoming friends and a collaborator with one of the artists that like inspired me and has even like got me wanting to do nerdcore, you know what I mean? So um this will be my third year going this year. So just in a few years going, just every year I kind of just like work my way in a little deeper into the into the inner ranks of nerdcore.
Speaking of Nerdcore, how did you find the space and how did you work with it?
Do you know who Otaku God is?
Not off the top of my head, no.
He's one of my best friends. He's from the same hometown. He's from my hometown. And I used to have a studio, and he would come to the studio like and record sometimes, and just over time we just kind of like actually became cooler and hung out and chilled. And we had even clicked in the first place because I had done like an EP called Tokyo 270, which is like my area code, but I had basically like gotten beats that sampled like Naruto OSTs, and I just had like some other songs on there where I was just like rapping about anime and stuff with like a mutual friend. And Otaku God reached out to me and he was just like, "Hey, like I heard your CD, like I also do kind of the same." And then he sent me a song where he's like rapping about Pokemon and stuff, and it was actually hard though. So I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, yeah, whatever. So we linked up, became cool. Um, he was super into the Twitter space. Uh, this was like 2017, maybe. Uh, I feel like he's not as active anymore. So if you weren't really like in the scene around the 2016, 17 era, I guess, then you may have missed Otaku God, but definitely somebody you should go check out. Um, anyways, though, he's huge into Twitter and he's like telling me I really need to get like on Twitter. I haven't really been on since like high school, and he's telling me about like this space. And it wasn't nerdcore though. He was just like telling me that there's a lot of anime fans online and that, there's a place for music like this. And he actually showed me artists. He showed me like Ashton Larold. He had the Doug Dimmadome song, and he showed me Richie Branson. Uh, I don't remember what song, but like they were basically two of the first nerdcore artists, I guess, that I heard. And then he showed me like Chrissa and Black Diamonds, who he had already connected with online. Um, and so yeah, fast forward a little bit, Otaku God ended up forming Otaku Underworld. Uh, and then he invited me to it, and he had already had a lot of people like Slick and Free Soul and a bunch of people in the collective. So I met everybody. Um, and even then, though, like we still weren't in nerdcore. Like the story is kind of long. I'm sorry, but uh, so even when we had Otaku Underworld, we didn't know nerdcore existed. Like we really kind of thought for a little bit that like we invented anime rap. I don't know. uh, but eventually, I don't know who discovered it or what happened, but I just remember soon learning about like Game Boy Jones and like Nerd Out and M Raps, and Slick had kind of showed us like just who certain people were in that space, and that was kind of like my first official introduction to nerdcore was when like Slick started dropping his drill songs and started like he had that like crazy run arc. I don't know if you were around for that.
Not off the top of my head, sorry.
Dang, you missed some golden moments.
Oh,
Well, Flick from Otaku Underworld, he had a huge um he had like some really big songs in the space that popped off like when drill rap was just really starting to come around. And um that was like my full introduction to nerdcore, because then he started working with a lot of different people in the space, and then I started following them, checking them out, kind of doing some networking and stuff, and I just realized like, wow, there's like a full online space dedicated to this, and they've been here for a long time.
yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like my story. And then that was probably like 2019 or 20 maybe.
I mean, I take it that you kind of like the community that is already here and that has grown.
Yeah. Despite what people, everybody has their regular uh on schedule gripes and things, whatever. No community is perfect, but I would say that we're all pretty blessed in that regard as far as how welcoming the community is.
Oh, definitely.
I,
Uh,
I do have a question for you, Callon.
Yeah, what's up?
Um, out of the artists that you have collaborated with, who were your favorite?
Hmm, good question. I mean, Tastic is probably one of my favorite artists to collaborate with. He's a frequent collaborator of mine, but someone outside of my circle, um, probably Vinny. He's really fun to work with and super just like hands on with it, I guess. He communicates through the whole process and like really tries to make something that you enjoy as well as him. And I just like how involved he is. He kind of makes like the whole song creation process funner.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
shout out.
agree.
That's like,
I mean, that's kind of one of the main artists that we actually have on here is Vinny. So kind of know
yeah,
him
he might
more than anything.
be the reason why I know who you guys are.
So you as a content creator, do you have any upcoming projects or events that you would like to talk about?
Events? No. Well, I will be at MomoCon, Black Diamond
Okay.
shows, like booked right now. I did a show at MTech, which is like the anime con in Nashville recently. So that was cool. For the most part, I'm not really performing as much as I used to. It used to be like a nearly every weekend thing, but I'm really more focused on just like creating and dropping music and building the brand at the moment. As far as projects dropping, I have a lot of I have a lot of singles that I have tucked back. I am working on like an album, uh, just kind of like for my own, uh, just pleasure, I guess. Really, just something I want to do for myself that I've wanted to do for a while. So I've just been kind of like working on that in the background, casually, not like really drilling into it, but made a lot of progress over the past few months with it. Um, really have been busy like with my new platform that I've been building, and that's really taking like a lot of my time. I don't know if you have seen anything about that.
New platform? Not really. I've just been focused mainly on channels and recording these. So,
Yeah, hey,
Yeah, same.
staying on the grind, can't
yeah,
knock that. But yeah, essentially for the last 5+ years, I've been building this product. And essentially, it distributes music at its base level, like any distributor does to put your music on Spotify and stuff. But then on the back end, it also handles all your publishing and like registration for your music, which is something that is overlooked and missed by pretty much every distributor that most people go with. So um, just creating something that really more encompasses like the full artist needs, and that way you don't have to stretch yourself thin over multiple different platforms just to try to register and release a song. It's something that doesn't exist. I've been managing publishing and music for a while for people, and something I've always wished existed. So it's kind of been like a passion project of mine for a while, and it's finally starting to come into fruition.
nice.
Nice.
That's what takes a lot of my time recently, but definitely new music coming soon.
It's actually going off of that. I don't know if you covered it, Aqua. Who would be your top? What are your current top artists or songs?
Like, just who are my favorite artists?
Yeah, that you watch and listen to.
Um, I mean, Mix Williams is fire. He just dropped something new that was awesome. Uh, I really like Ty Wild. He's awesome. I wish he would drop his own music, obviously, but uh, you can't ever go wrong with a Ty Wild verse. Yayu is one of my favorites. I listen to his stuff a lot. Peso is obviously killer. Really like uh really like Jeesh. I think Mir Blackwell is like one of the most talented writers. I think his stuff is awesome. Um, I feel like I'm definitely, I really like McGuire's Steezy mode stuff, like the new collab project him and Wolfboy are doing. Like, I think that is a really creative and like interesting project that is cool. So off the top of my head, those are like some people that I would play. Obviously, I'm trying. Anytime I mention these people, though, by the way, disclaimer: I'm not mentioning Underworld to not be biased. But obviously, I'm bumping Underworld. Um, as far as favorite songs, that's a really hard question because like the the quantity and volume at which a lot of these people drop songs is nutty. So I don't know if I can answer that question. That's really hard because half the time I can't even remember the names of these songs because by the time it's like really starting to sink in, there's just already another one.
Great.
But
Um,
I'm like, I have that issue with like that isn't just like a nerdcore thing. That's other songs in general. Like I'm kind of weird about listening to music. Like most people probably have like, or I assume the average listener experience, they have like their playlist or their go-to songs that they just run. But like I'm always listening to different songs. I like don't very often listen to the same song over and over. So I never really like learn the lyrics, and most of the time don't even remember the name because I just be hitting the shuffle and just like hear it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like this song, but I don't know the name of that song. I've never looked. Just know it comes on the shuffle sometimes. But
kind of
that's just
calling
my
me out there.
experience.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do the same. So it's like that nerdcore. Every time I hear like a good song, I'm like, oh, it's fire, but then I don't know the song. I trust in the shuffle to guide me.
Oh, definitely. And honestly,
Put
I
all
guess
my
it
faith in the shuffle.
definitely. And I guess when it comes back to, I guess NPC, when Vinny or Rocket or whoever makes those playlists, whoever makes those and puts, all the songs in there, I just kind of put that on shuffle and why not? Just kind of
Exactly.
on the plane ride to, in this case, Dallas for this year. It's gonna be, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, a little pregame. I got you.
Exactly. Why not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do music full time or part time?
Um, that's a trick question because uh, I don't technically have a job, but music does not fully pay my bills. It is a secondary income from me. Just with like features and engineer work, and then the money I do bring in from shows, merch, streams, etc. It's definitely a big chunk of my income, but the other half of it, I'm self-employed, I guess you could say. Like I run sound for events and will help set up like staging for concerts or uh help run sound or lighting for like a freaking doctor party or something. Like I kind of just have I'm in the hustle of like AV technician work. So I freelance, and that's my only other job, that and music. So, in a way, I kind of am full time, like creatively, just not from making music. I have been on the stage crew for some cool people before. I don't really like doing stadium shows. It's a lot. It's like it's pretty overwhelming, but um I've been on the stage crew for like Beyonce, uh Nas, Wu Clan, Red Hot Chili Peppers, um Leonard Skinner, some country artists that I'm not really familiar with. Uh so yeah, I do things like that. And then like I said, also maybe help run a lecture for a doctor or a lawyer or something like that.
I think you might have tied this in, but what did you do before music, if anything?
I did nothing, absolutely nothing, just couch potato. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. That's all what we
I
want.
right. Um, I mean, yeah, I've had numerous crappy jobs, regular, 9 to 5 stuff, customer service.
Gotta love those.
Whenever the last like real job that I had, I had 2 jobs. I worked at Feeling Groovy, which was like a head shop, which sells pipes and bongs and herbal supplements, cigarillos, things of that nature. Hippie store. I worked at one of those, and then I worked at a vegan restaurant cooking, and I did both of those for like 3 years. Um, and I was also in school full time. And towards the end of my master's degree program, I like kind of just I was just kind of like on the edge, and I just quit my job, both of my jobs on a whim, and finished school, got my master's degree in business, and then um just kind of winged it for a little while with no plan and not really sure like what I was doing until I stumbled upon like just through suggestions and relationships I made at school, I got led into the direction of getting into the AV field. So that's how that kind of happened. Never will work in a restaurant or a 9 to 5 again. Can't do that.
Yeah, I've also kind of worked retail and absolutely hated the customer service kind of there, so hopefully not going to go back to that, but who knows? I mean, some experience that I had, I mean, I loved it, but there were definitely some times in retail where I just absolutely hated it. So, yeah. What kind of instruments do you play?
So actually, I don't play any instruments. I have like a funny relationship with music production. I've never made my own beats, or I haven't in a very long time. I did like maybe in 2013, but uh, but I've always worked with producers that I either knew or eventually started meeting them online. So I've always like had a hand in my production, but I've never actually made beats. I just feel like I have like a ear and a direction for it once I'm like in that space with the producer. But um, at a certain point, I like really wanted to get more into music production and like learning how to play instruments and make beats and stuff. And I attempted to learn the keyboard for a little bit, but I decided that my time would be better spent if I learned how to engineer instead. So I made the soundboard my instrument of choice rather, which I still think was the better option because I can get people to make me good beats and I can be happy with it and kind of oversee it, but I can't always get people to make me sound how I want. So learning how to make myself sound a certain way was super vital to just everything that I was doing musically. and eventually it leveled up to a point where I started to like rent out a studio, and I would go record in a studio and I would invite musicians and producers over, and we would just make like a gang of beats during the few days that I booked the studio for, which eventually led into the creation of my band, the Hive, which was like at the time it was an 8 piece. Now it's like a 6 piece band of just like full instrumentation. And my keyboard player was vital in that space because he really led the musicians and he spoke the musical terminology that I didn't understand. I could just say general feelings and statements about what I wanted, and he could then translate that to the musicians in a way that they would be able to play what I wanted. So our dynamic was super vital in that space and just in general because he was at most of my sessions helping me get beats made and stuff.
So with the songs that you made, which is like hundreds by now,
Over that.
that you know what I mean. Um,
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I just deleted a bunch.
Interesting. Okay. Actually, why don't, if you don't mind, why don't we go into that actually? Why did you start deleting some then?
um, I just feel like I'm sure most people. Okay, so when I first got into Nerdcore, obviously the thing to do was, and still is for a lot of people, is weekly drops, which is like, so it's such torture. Whoever decided that that was the thing, they should really think about what they've done,
Definitely.
what they've done to a generation of content creators. But uh, I was doing weekly drops, and I feel like sometimes I just kind of like put something together just for the sake of getting it out, or I was experimenting more with just like sounds that weren't as developed yet. And basically, if I go to my profile and I shuffle all my songs and a song comes on that I have to kind of like cringe at and I want to change it, like it should just be deleted. There's I have some songs on there that are pretty old. I think the oldest song on there is like 2017, maybe 2019 at this point. I've had catalogs on Spotify like as early as 2012 or 13, but I deleted them all because I just felt like they didn't reflect quality wise where I was at. And then I ended up deleting a lot of songs because I felt message wise they didn't really reflect where I was at. And this current time, I just thought they were uninteresting and there was a lot better reflection. And I would just hate if someone were to come to my profile new and they shuffled and a song like that deterred them away. So everything is up on my Bandcamp still. If I deleted a song that you did like, it's still there for free for you to listen to, just not on Spotify anymore. On my page, and just trying to more, just make sure that when somebody listens to something, it's something that I would want to show them.
Definitely. And that you actually answered one of my other questions is, if you delete a song, what if, one of the fans like said song? So what would happen there? And where could they find that?
Yeah, it's not everything will be on Bandcamp for free. I've even been thinking about. Well, I mean, not thinking about. I'm definitely gonna do it. I just haven't done it yet. But I was even thinking about putting like all of my even older music that just isn't available at all anymore back up there, like my first original album and stuff from 2014.
Eventually will turn into never. um,
No, it'll happen. It'll happen. There's one thing about me. I keeps a list. I keeps a to-do list, and everything gets done on it. There's just priorities to the to-do list. You know what I mean? Like I'm not
oh,
gonna sit and
definitely.
upload my songs to Bandcamp when, there's other more important tasks to be done, you know what I mean? But when that time comes, then I'm like, man, I don't really know what to do, and like I'm not about to work on one of these major tasks, and I need to like kill some time. Like, oh, I'll upload my shit to Bandcamp now. It's a perfect time. You got to have that prioritized list.
Definitely. Do you have any form of training when it comes to schooling or music?
Uh, I have I have a master's degree in entertainment business. That was what I studied for. My bachelor's degree is in audio production. Um, so really just like, studio engineering training. I took a Pro Tools course, so I'm like certified in Pro Tools. I even took like a Waves plugin course, which is kind of funny. But so I have like a Waves plugin certificate. Um, I've had like some artist development training before in my like younger teenage days. I had gotten involved with some projects and different management teams and stuff. Um, that were really kind of a big deal at the time, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. Probably for the best because I was really young. But there was a lot of practices and like artistry techniques that I learned early on that just made improving and getting better easier. Like being able to do my first handful of shows when I was like 14 years old and really learning how to perform and then being in the realm of doing it consistently from such a young age uh, till now was very great for me, honestly. And recently I had explored Sam Sky, shout out him, his Zero Theory like vocal lessons. Um, I've almost finished every class. I think I have one left. Definitely recommend that. Everyone should go book some lessons with Sam Sky, get your vocals on. Um, no, I don't plan to sing like Sam Sky. No, I can't after his lessons, but I did learn a lot and I definitely have improved vocally because of what he taught me, and the rest is in my hands. So, it'll evolve a little more, but I've never had any like real training. I would love to take dance lessons though, I'm not gonna lie to you. I need to learn a little like two step, you feel me, or something, just some
When it comes to your channel logo, what's, I guess, the meaning behind that, if there is any?
the Callon B one.
Yeah,
Um really isn't a meaning behind it. Krim drew it for me. Shout out Krim, amazing artist. Um,
Grim is amazing.
so I will share, I will share something funny though.
Oh
So
my.
this is if anybody that has ever worked with me art wise, you have had this happen to you before, but in this instance, I was like, Krim, I have a great idea. Can you make this look cool?
That, yeah, that. Nice.
If you look at my display picture, it is that, except way better. I just get these like really random ideas in my head sometimes, and I'll just like sketch them out on paper and then send them to somebody that can do it way better. I kind of do the same thing in the studio. I'm very much like a director or like whatever, executive producer, so to speak. But yeah, so there really isn't a story behind it. Just obviously my whole brand is bees. Hive mind. I got the hive on my head, the honey wand dripping the honey with the stuff behind me, and then I got one of those little smoke guns that people use to harvest honey and bees and stuff. So just all symbolism from bee related lore core, bee core.
Is there, I guess, a reason why you went down, I guess, that path with bees and stuff for your channel? And
Hard to remember like what was the true like start of it. I can't remember, but I mean, as long as my middle initial is B, so since as early as middle school, people have called me B, Callon B. It's just like I don't know. It was just like something that stuck early on. I never really thought anything of it. So whenever I started rapping, my rap name was just Callon B because that's what everybody always called me. Um, but it wasn't until way, way later that I actually picked up the B uh like metaphors and branding. And like I said, I've tried so hard to like pinpoint when did it actually start. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that I did a song with somebody and I made like a bar about bees or something, and then like maybe they complimented it or something and thought it was funny, and I just started doing it more, and then over time it just really just kept growing and expanding and kind of taking over my life. It was just too good. And then it's like the more that I would learn about bees, or because I actually like read about bees and attempted to learn about them and stuff because it would help me think of better like lines and puns, because you have no idea how many I have thought of.
Oh
uh,
my. I'm kind of scared to find out.
I don't even know, but there's probably at least a different one in every song somehow.
Oh dear.
S- some reworked and reshaped to just be slightly different because I'm a big guy on themes. If you've which I don't I don't expect anybody to have actually done this, but if you did for really like deep dive into my catalog and remember lines from certain songs, you would probably start piecing together certain thematic like elements that I purposely like plant in certain songs to kind of ode to the other song, you know what I mean?
Oh my. Okay.
Uh, so it's kind of like a universe within my songs. I don't know.
I
That's
guess you
how I
just gave
find it
us a
work.
job to do.
Yeah, yeah. So especially on like albums, and then like this album I'm working on, you'll hear me kind of repeat, but not exactly word for word, just kind of like ode. Like I might put a bar in a verse that is a piece of a line from a hook in another song or something, you know what I mean? Or vice versa. Like turn a really solid line from a verse into a hook in another song. And that's something I might do every now and then. But yeah, anyways, though, to circle that back around, just the bee puns started becoming more and more prevalent in my music, and I started researching bees and just kind of learning about like the role they play in nature, um, their roles in the hive, the whole idea of like the hive mind consciousness and like a colony and swarm of bees acting and moving is like one entity, and and there exists already so many like folklore and stories and just like spiritual stories that connect bees as a metaphor to like spirituality and human nature as well and stuff. And I just always thought that was interesting. And my music has always kind of had like a spiritual tone to it, kind of like some on some conscious shit, at least for a little bit in every song. And it always kind of applied with the bees. I think my dog wants to come in my room. Come on.
Nice.
Do you want to be in the interview?
Uh,
This is Bardog.
what kind of dog is it?
He's a wiener dog, a
Uh,
long-haired standard wiener dog,
nice.
and he is a good boy. If you notice, a little Easter egg in almost all my art, Bardock is an Easter egg in it.
Yeah, I've actually seen when I am active on Twitter and Instagram sometimes, I've seen a few posts with you and him as well.
Yeah, I try to, not every song, but almost every song I try to like add him and get him designed and drawn to you know, it's just kind of like more of lore and story building. Like really what I'm more focused on more currently in my musical journey, because I'm not doing weekly drops anymore. I'm kind of just like taking my time, and it's because I'm doing like more like world building, I guess, kind of like Bardock will always kind of be like a Easter egg in my art, and just certain other thematic elements will carry over and being consistent.
Speaking of Easter eggs as well, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, Callan, but I think you did something with him with the song "Too Drunk," correct? The song that
Really?
you collabed with Ghost Like.
Yep. Yeah, me, Ghost Like, and Chewy Cat, too drunk.
I'm pretty
With
sure you did something with the dog as well.
oh, for too
I,
drunk.
yeah, I think if I remember that correctly on Twitter or something.
Yeah, I believe I used him for some promo. I want
God,
Bardock to be more famous than me.
God love that.
So,
Uh,
um, Bardock is in all promo.
I know that Aqua, you just came from a stream for this. Um,
Yes.
I don't, I don't know if you are in the game, Callan, but are you in Don't Fret at all?
No, um, I didn't. I wasn't really too close to Rocket whenever he was like really searching and seeking talent and help for that. So I didn't get the opportunity, sadly. But you know, hey, if there's some DLC,
Maybe.
Maybe.
I
I
got
mean,
you.
I think
I'm gonna
there
play it
was
though.
like a teaser drop, but that was like a April Fool's kind of joke.
It was.
Uh, yeah, like
Uh,
yeah, like y'all just focus on getting the game done. Don't announce another one.
exactly. As a artist perspective, what are your thoughts on AI when it comes to music and everyday life?
I mean, as far as music goes, I'm not very thrilled about it because, well, I mean, I feel like the because is obvious. Anybody that makes music, really takes pride in their ability to come up with the ideas and stuff on your own, and there's a certain satisfaction that you get from honing your craft and learning how to be a better artist, and then impressing and entertaining yourself with your own art, and you just kind of lose that soul and spirit when you use AI to make your beats or your music or even sing your vocals and melody. um, and that is also the same with graphics and video as well. I definitely see all the gripes with that. Is it going to go away? No. um, I don't really know what the future holds for that. It'll probably sadly get to a point where you can't even tell the difference, which is tough. Um, but I am on the fence about a few things 'cause I've seen some really cool like drawing AI apps that to help them be able to draw better, and I thought that was really cool. Like for example, like you could draw a really simple stick figure, but it would automatically turn it into more of a developed human drawing figure. So I thought that was really cool because somebody that wouldn't be able to draw very good because of a physical disability would be able to use something like that to at least like create. So like I thought that was an interesting tool to use in that regard. One thing I do think AI is great for though that I think is awesome is I mean, if you needed help writing a song or you just want to bounce ideas off of something that isn't a human and uh, you can always use AI. I've definitely gone to AI and just for the hell of it, just been like, hey, like I want to write a song like about this. Like, give me some themes and some words that pertain to this like mood. And sometimes nothing good comes out of it, and it was a waste of time. And then sometimes just seeing like one word or one phrase, might make me think of something or inspire me. So I use it to brainstorm sometimes. I have to type like a lot of papers and emails and responses and stuff for business things. So I'll use it a lot to help me craft more professional sounding responses. Um, there's a few plugins, like engineering plugins for music that have started to incorporate AI, which is cool. It helps get like a if I make a song, sometimes I'll just run like the Ozone AI over it, um, just just to get a quick playback, just to hear it in the car and it sound better. So like I think that's really great just for like speed to reference. And I would love to see AI kind of develop more in that department. Like, what other plugins and tools can we develop and use to help speed up the process of editing music? Like, I wouldn't mind there being an AI process for that, maybe. Uh, you could put me out of a job. I don't want to mix anyone's music anymore. uh, but other than that, yeah, that's really the only way I see it being more useful. Definitely not going anywhere though.
Yeah, I know.
I do have a question.
Hmm.
That might help you. That might
Yeah.
help a bit out here. Come up with the question here. Um, what truly inspired you to go in the music route?
Really good question. I, so I mean, people in my family enjoy music, and like my cousin was in a band, and a lot of my cousins or uncle, like they all played the guitar and stuff. So like I was sort of exposed to music, but none of them really did it enough, or I wasn't exposed to it enough to like really inspire me to make music.
Mhm.
Um, so how I became so interested in is like a really good question because I'm not even 100% sure. I just know that when I was younger, uh, whenever I started discovering, it was like probably second or third grade, I started like discovering music that I liked, which at the time was like Ludacris and Nelly and like Eminem and Missy Elliott, uh, Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. uh, like that was the kind of music that was popular right around then. 50 Cent,
Yeah.
like that was the kind of music I was listening to, just like that early 2000s era hip hop, and I just loved it. And I spent a lot of time listening to music, like literally just listening to it, like not doing anything while I listened to it, just like laying there with my headphones on and listening to it. And I used to print off the lyrics like on paper and memorize them for like the songs I really liked. And I don't know, I would just do things like that every day. And I had my best friend at the time. He was also kind of like on that same tip with me. Like we would just listen to music and like rap songs, like perform in my room, basically, just all the time. And eventually in sixth grade, we kind of started freestyling a little bit, and uh, just being stupid. And I don't know. I don't really know what our plan was, or we just wanted to kind of rap. And in middle school, eventually we had gotten a hold of a computer and like recorded a song on the webcam mic, and it sucked. But it was fun. So we just kept doing it. And yeah, by freshman year, I was already like printing CDs like on my own and burning them and like slapping CD labels on them and like selling them at school. Yeah, the CD era was interesting. A lot of people miss that.
I miss it.
I think think with um oh God, what's the name for it? Uh, Record players are coming back.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, fun fact for you, vinyl sales are actually at an all-time high right now. They're the highest that they've been, since like their prime.
Yeah, vinyls. Thank you. I know Try Hard Ninja is going to be selling some NPC as well, so that's going to be interesting.
I know Rocket sells some too.
Yeah, Ben Schiller has some as well. They're the only people I've seen have them. I might do them as well for my new album, but I'm not sure yet.
I mean, that would be cool if you did.
Yeah, same.
When it comes to free time, if you have any, what do you like to do?
I'll uh I'll play PlayStation a bit. Um we make a little bit of time every night to for me and my girlfriend to hang out. She's in the community as well. Diablo, she streams. Um So we hang out every night and we'll play some games together or watch a show. Like we just finished watching Daredevil. Now we're back on our Bleach grind. We've been watching Bleach together. I've already seen it. She hasn't. But uh yeah, I don't have very much free time to be honest. But the little bit of time that I do have, it's usually spent playing PlayStation. Like I try to get just a little bit of time in on that, at least every night for a little bit before bed. Um, I don't get to do it very much, but that's what I do.
You, I swear, are like every other artist that we have interviewed about that question is like, what is free time? Because they are always just like nonstop, like busy and stuff like that.
I still have to work, um, even though I am like self-employed, so to speak, and I make my own schedule. That definitely doesn't mean that my workload is less. It may mean that it's more because I don't have a dependable income resource. I have to hustle to find it. So that on its own is already an extra step of time taken up right there. And then between having 2 to 3 meetings every week, sometimes multiple a day to develop and build this website from scratch, it's also very time consuming. And um, then I'm trying to squeeze in practicing for live performances if I have them, going on these trips the cons and just making sure that's organized, balancing a healthy relationship, walking my dog, that's a very vital, important step of the day. Um, and then just any time in between that, trying to just squeeze in, like, okay, now I'm going to try to film a piece of content. Now I'm going to make a post. Now I'm going to try to actually write and record music. But that's risky because what if I actually don't write shit? And then I just wasted my time. Those are just like constant tug of wars going on in my brain day to day. And then it gets to be like that 8 or 9 p.m. mark and I've been up since like 7 or 8, and then I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna play a video game for an hour and then pass out. But um, So I mean, my free time would truly go to making and just working on music is what I would think more so. But then outside of that, after I'm just know that like my brain has had enough, I just turn on the game.
When it comes to NPC and when people, see you, are you just kind of like chill about it if somebody flags you down, or are you do you just not want to be bothered?
It's
So,
always a humbling experience, and I'm always flattered when anyone flags me down. Um, Not even on like my ego or like vanity tip, because of course it feels good to be known for your music, but I never, especially the first time I went, I never expected it or thought that would happen, but it did a few times, and it has every time I've gone, and even happens at cons occasionally, and it is kind of like a crazy experience, and I do appreciate it because um despite any success that I've had or that people think that I've seen, uh sometimes no matter what, even the largest artists, I mean, I've had plenty of conversations with Vinny, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying that like every day is not game day, even for somebody who has progressed as far as Vinny and Rocket Music has. Every day is not game day. So sometimes little reminders from supporters um, goes a long way, and you don't know that they need it. So I'm always very appreciative to people that stop me and say something to me when they see me out. It just reminds me that I haven't wasted my time my whole life. uh, One specific example is that I made a song that was like very important to me, and it was very personable, and it didn't do what I perceived to be very well, which was disappointing because I thought it was like a very powerful song for me. But my first year at NBC, this random stranger who, if you know him, he goes by Chopper, who is now like I would consider a friend of mine. He came up to me and told me he liked my music and stuff, and then specifically mentioned that one song, and has to this day been probably the only person that has ever mentioned that song to me, and mentioned it and just told me how like powerful and impactful it was, and that was like kind of like a game changing, elevating moment in my mind of just like wow. um it was a great experience and inspired me in multiple ways since then. uh and I kept in touch with him, and Chopper has been very helpful to bounce ideas off, and also just helping me navigate and learn how to Discord. So yeah, to answer the question, I love when people come up to me. It is helpful on the artist journey. It's not always a vanity thing or like an ego or a pride thing. Sometimes it's the inspiration that is needed for an artist to continue to create.
you ever been flagged down of when you haven't been at conventions like NPC?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly. I mean, obviously in my hometown, I get flagged down sometimes. I've been flagged down in Nashville a few times by somebody that recognized me. I definitely know there's been a time, but I can't like get the full memory in my head. It hasn't happened enough for me to have a story to tell you, but it's definitely happened. I just can't remember the circumstances. At least
Yeah.
once.
Didn't know that would be a tricky question for you.
Yeah, there was like once, I mean, this isn't, I don't count this as full on because I sort of live in Nashville, but at the same time, not really. I'm not from there. But Peso came to Nashville, and we went to the mall, and we walked in a store. and the guy behind the counter uh, recognized Peso first, but then also went on to realize that he knew who I was, and so that was kind of cool. Didn't know what I looked like. He just seen the name on the feature on the feature list before.
Wow. Do you have any questions for me then, or for any of us here? Because I kind of ran out of my questions.
Yeah, same here.
All good.
If not, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can wrap this up.
Will both of you be at NPC this year?
I won't be able to. Can't. Won't be able to afford it, and due to services and disability issues, I can't go to this year.
Hmm.
But maybe next year, if it's closer to me.
Yeah, understandable.
But with me, I went to NPC last year, and I'm going to NPC this year as well. So
Awesome. Well, definitely got to say what's up to me. Um,
you also know that I got to go all out every time. So
yeah, absolutely. What's your favorite pizza, both of you?
mm,
Mm,
this is a bit of a
pepperoni
tricky one.
I mean,
for me.
that traditional pepperoni pizza is just classic. You can't go wrong with that.
No, it's actually my favorite. I have it all the time.
This is just like on a line on do people like it, do people not? And I don't know where any of you guys lie. But I am kind of like a Hawaiian pizza kind of person.
Oh yeah, I mean that's respectable.
I know some people don't like it because pineapple shouldn't belong on pizza, but I know some people like that. So it's like,
I like pineapple on pizza.
Like that too, yeah. I did it.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
that
mean,
was
I'm just like a cheese, like stuffed crust, maybe some spinach and feta, like some onions and green pepper kind of guy, you know, that's me.
Oh, that's
definitely.
good.
Or just cheese. Sometimes just the classic extra cheese is just like all I need.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was my last question. That was like what was important to me to know. I gotta know who I'm dealing with.
Well then. Okay. Um, wasn't ex okay.
It's like my
Uh,
zodiac signs, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well then. With that being said, I guess that's gonna be wrapping this episode up. Hopefully, if this kind of goes well, we can probably have you on more, Callan, if you like. But all depends on
Yes,
scheduling.
sir.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I appreciate you guys having me.
I will see you guys in the next podcast episode.
Yeah, peace.